Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. All glories to our revered speaker for today, Her Grace, NITYA-KISHORE Devi. And all glories to the assembled Vaishnavi devotees. Devotees, we thank you all for being here. Today is Friday, the 24th day of January 2025. And we have Her Grace, NITYA-KISHORE Devi, speaking to us all the way from Mayapur. Mother, we're very grateful to have your association again. We wish you Happy Krishna Conscious New Year, since this is our first time meeting in the 2025 year.
Happy New Year.
And without further ado, we may put the verse on the screen and then you take it over from here. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Haribol. Yeah, it seems your audio is not clear enough.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Okay, it's better now. Haribol. Wow. I have a light here, but what to do? Okay, where is the verse? Great. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:5-44. Down, please. Down. Yat sanu bhande satide hagehe mammaham iti udha duragrahanam pumsam suduram vasato pipuryam bhaje matarte bhagavam padabjam. Yat, because sa anubhande, due to becoming entangled, asati, thus being, deha, the gross material body, gehe, in the home, mama, mind, aham, I, iti, thus, udha, great, deep, duragrahanam, undesirable eagerness, pumsam, of persons, suduram, far away, vasata, dwelling, api, although, puryam, within the body, bhajema, let us worship, tat, therefore, te, your, Bhagavan, O Lord, pada abjam, lotus feet. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Very good. We could, in this light, because it's giving reflection here, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Better. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Lord, persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness for the temporary body and kinsmen, and who are bound by thoughts of mine and I, are unable to see your lotus feet, although your lotus feet are situated within their own bodies. But let us take shelter of your lotus feet. Purport. Purport? Okay. The whole Vedic philosophy of life is that one should get rid of the material engagement of gross and subtle bodies, which only cause one to continue in a condemned life of miseries. This material body continues as long as one is not detached from the false conception of lording it over material nature. The impetus for lording it over material nature is the sense of mine and I. I am the Lord of all that I serve, so many things I possess, and I shall possess more and more. Who can be richer? Who can be richer than I in wealth and education? I am the master and I am God. Who else is there but me? All these ideas reflect the philosophy of Aham Mama, the conception that I am everything. Persons conducted by such a conception of life can never get liberation from material bondage. But even a person perpetually condemned to the miseries of material existence can get relief from bondage if he simply agrees to hear only Krishna Katha. In this age of Kali, the process of hearing Krishna Katha is the most effective means to gain release from unwanted family affection. Unwanted family affection, and thus find permanent freedom in life. The age of Kali is full of sinful reactions, and people are more and more addicted to the qualities of this age, but simply by hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha, one is sure to go back to Godhead. Therefore, people should be trained to hear only Krishna Katha by all means in order to get relief from all miseries. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanam Janam Shalakaya Chakshur Militan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidamscha. Hare Krishna. Can you please share the purport there again? Sahadev, please share the Bhagavatam screen. Thank you. Okay, let's read again the verse. O Lord, persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness for the temporary body and kinsmen, and who are bound by thoughts of mine and I, are unable to see your lotus feet, and although your lotus feet are situated within their own bodies, but let us take shelter of your lotus feet. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Good evening from ISKCON Mayapur. I'm at home. Usually I'm not traveling, but now I am in Mayapur and I am at home. And here's festival, so many people here. And well, we can see the verse, and the verse is talking about undesirable eagerness for mine and I. And Prabhupada is saying about material desires, get rid of everything. But then he specifically, in the purport, he's saying what's the exact mentality of he's talking about. He's not talking about a devotee, that doesn't live in the temple to have his own house, his job, money in the bank, health insurance, a car, whatever he needs to live a comfortable life. And the purport is not saying that you don't have to love your family members. Not in that. I used to say in my classes, when somebody wants to be more Catholic than the priest, when you want to be more Catholic than the priest. So we have to understand what does it mean. So we completely misunderstood. We thought that if I want a spiritual life, and if I want to love Krishna, and I'm really interested in develop myself spiritually, I have to make a poverty vow. And I shouldn't endeavor for any work. I should endeavor to please my wife or get my kids educated or have a house, because it's not easy. Many people in the world doesn't have a place to live. They live on rent. So it's not easy to make a plan to have own house or work and save money. This is not easy. And it's not easy for a man to wake up in the morning and go to the job for 8 hours and come back. This is not easy. It's difficult. It's a sacrifice. So if you tell a man, devotee, actually, this is what you are doing is all Maya. You shouldn't work so hard. Do the minimum and Krishna will do the rest and chant. And this brought so much poverty to many families, crisis, divorce, and kids without financial support and education. So please, if you go and read the purport, you can see that this is not the instruction. There, Srila Prabhupada is saying, he's giving example of the mentality of the people who think like that. Like they are thinking, I am God. They are greedy. They are doing anything for money. I'm not talking about a household devotee, pious person that have to work to maintain his family the best that he can. He cannot be accused. Any man who is working to maintain his family shouldn't be accused. It's a shame to accuse such a noble man, a family man, that he is attached to women and kids and to his house. So you can say the same as sannyasis. I am in Mayapur and I am nearby Rasamrita Kunj. This is luxurious residence that he's here. I'm telling you, so many sannyasis, they have a house there. Very big houses, all marble. They stay there writing books, doing programs. This is their house. They have a house, a good house. So a sannyasi have a good house and he is okay, but a grihasta who wants to have a good house is in Maya? What's going on? What's going on? So any time when you read about such a thing, you have to detach of everything, otherwise you cannot see God, you cannot develop love of God, you don't do anything. Anytime we have to go deeper in the purport and see. For example, in this purport, I don't have to say, Srila Prabhupada is saying there, what the mentality is. A grihasta who is working, the best of his abilities. It should be the best of his abilities. I saw my god brothers leaving the temple. In the time when I joined, I was a very new devotee, and my god brothers were already senior married, leaving the temple, and they didn't have any skills And they thought that they should sell prasad or books, otherwise they would be in Maya. So then they were living in poverty, collecting, small cents, small money, instead of looking for, okay, what kind of talent I have, and what kind of skills I should develop to give a good life to my wife and my kids that they are coming. Now I'm outside the temple, like live a normal life. No, I should be a Grihastha Brahmachari. Nonsense. Grihastha Brahmachari. Nonsense, completely nonsense. You can't say this is contradictory. It's dangerous, nothing to do. No, I have to be Grihastha Brahmachari, and I have to do, I have to deal with prasada and books. So then we saw some of them, they couldn't sell books because they didn't know how to sell books. So they were selling samosas in the traffic jam, in the traffic lights, selling samosas. What is this? What is this? And nobody guided them. This is the worst. Nobody guided them. And nobody knew how to guide. So it is a mess. It is a mess. So you be very careful to take decisions. Nowadays especially, listen to anyone. You have to listen to a responsible people, grihastas, especially grihastas, that they had kids and their kids grow up and their kids are devotees and they are economically, financially stable. From that people you have to hear. You can't hear, for example, in Mayapur there is one lady here, she's shaved her hair, she doesn't have any hair, she's old and she's divorced. She divorced many, many years ago. And she doesn't have any kid, and she gives courses about relationships for grihastas. How come is this possible? How come? I have 3 daughters, and now they're all adults. And anybody here in this gathering that maybe have some kids, they know what does it mean to have a kid. How much sacrifice is involved. How much love should be involved. And if you want them to be devotees, how much sacrifice you have to make in your house, in your words, in your own own improvement, your own life. So this is very serious. So a person in this lifetime, they didn't raise any kid. They cannot give advice to parents. They can't. So we have to be very careful to take decisions. The decisions, these girls, sons, daughters that we have, they depend on us in so many ways. Especially, as a mother and father, ordinary human being, with compassion, love, and empathy. And we have to make sure they become devotees, but through love and empathy, and not through forcing or taking stupid decisions. If you're miserable, if you are bitter, and if you are unhappy, your kid won't be a devotee. Won't be a devotee. They will be a devotee if you are happy being a devotee. So are you happy? Are you comfortable in your skin as a devotee of Krishna, you love to sing, you love prasada, you love to serve others. How is your own development? Then you can give. And how can you give Krishna consciousness to everyone and then to your own kids you can't give? How much attention are you really giving to your kids so they will love you and they will love you, they can't think twice that they will be a devotee or not. And then you follow up on their spiritual lives, on their spiritual understanding. You help them to read the books. You encourage them to read Mahabharata, to know the stories, to become interested, to take part in kirtan, to eat as much pizza prasada they want. You make sure their life is fun with Krishna or what. So this is a very important point. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying that the mentality of the people that they are condemned, he's not talking about us. 3 kids, even if you want money to have one apartments for renting, because now that we become old and then we go to retirement, so we need some money to live. So if we have some apartments and we rent them and you live on rent and chant, Prabhupada will be happy with us. Prabhupada will be happy. You think Srila Prabhupada wanted the Grihastas to be respectful, respectable, honored, doctors, judges, lawyers, teachers. This is what he wanted for us. And he's right. He's right. Chandrasekhara gave an interview to Namarasa podcast and spoke about dress. Very interesting. If you can, please listen to this podcast. There are so many things about Grihasta life there. Grihastas, they have to talk between them. They are not monks. They have kids. They have jobs. They need to be educated. They have wives. They have properties. They have to be expert to have their own thing going on, their own life. Okay, and participate on gatherings and give donation and have prasada, and be happy with their families. This is what they have to do. And no monks should advise Grihastas how to live, because Grihastas, they are not monks and they shouldn't be. And monks don't know what a Grihasta should be, how they should live. Okay, and in this purport, if you read carefully, you see that, don't forget about everything, don't have anything, blah, blah, not talking about us. And not talking about how much property, it's talking about mentality. Which mentality? So I'm telling you, even a miserable person with maybe under the bridge can be selfish, can be harsh, can be rude, poverty. It doesn't mean that you're pure devotee just because you're poor. It's like in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Lila, just one Brahmana, he only drinks milk. And then Srinivasacharya, Srinivas Thakur brought this Brahmana to the kirtan, secret kirtan in his house. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is he? And Srinivas Thakur said, oh, he's a very good devotee. He only drinks milk. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so angry. He said, what? Do you think he's a very good devotee just because he only drinks milk? Are you crazy? Get rid of him right now. And then kicked him out for the kirtan. It was a lesson there. It doesn't mean anything. You can just do a renunciation to show off how good you are. It doesn't mean nothing. Poverty or wealth, it comes from past lives. Facility, or we don't know past lives. Maybe you're very rich. Like Radhanath Swami, he has very, very rich disciples that, help him in so many projects. So is this Maya? He should not, these business people who join Radhanath Swami, they should just give up their business to show that they are so good, they love God. You love God, so leave your business. What is this? Why? Continue to do your life, listen about Krishna, and do help you use your wealth for something, isn't it? Besides living your life and your family and educate your kids and blah blah blah. How Prabhupada was saying, it doesn't matter how rich you are, your stomach only can have this much of food, not more. This is what Srila Prabhupada was saying. He's very amazing, his examples. How much, you can buy the whole restaurant, but how much you can eat? That's Prabhupada. So, if you're very rich, and then you have to spend money somewhere, you do investments, you spend money somewhere. So, if you're rich, and then if you become Krishna conscious by hearing and chanting, by feeling your heart, that's what I should do. And then what you're gonna do? You use your whatever you have to spread the holy names. So, and this is great. What's the problem? Why should be condemned? Wealth should not be condemned. Attitude should be condemned. Underdevelopment should be condemned. Why you're not developing yourself? That should be condemned. If you have money or not, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're poor or rich, are you developing your Krishna consciousness? Maybe you are poor and you are so tamagun. It doesn't mean you're advanced. You're renounced because you don't work. No, you're tamagun. So you don't like to work. You're lazy. Don't like to work. Don't like to read. Don't like to chant, and then you show off that you're renounced. You shave your hair because you have no job, so nobody cares if you have hair or not, and you put on sika because you don't care if you have a job or not, because nobody will hire you like this. You don't care how much you dress because you have no responsibility. So it has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. You're just tamagun. You're just tamagun. So be responsible, be active, be productive, and worship Krishna. Worship Krishna. Don't be like the person that Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport. I am God. I want more and more. Doesn't make any sense. This is for those who don't have spiritual understanding. It's not. This instruction is not for us. Okay? So, please, your questions, comments, okay?
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Madam NITYA-KISHORE, as always, for speaking to us and also speaking with us, sharing your love, wisdom, and understanding with us. So, dear devotees, if anyone may have questions, comments, realizations you may want to ask or share, please indicate by using the hand emoji or your physical hand, and you'll be asked to unmute to ask your question or share your reflections. Hare Krishna. Shriman Varahacharya Prabhu, please, you may unmute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please next time I'll move this.
Right. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, for your sharing.
Haribol.
I would love to hear you speaking on another forum. I would like to hear you speaking somewhere else other than here.
Yeah, I speak.
Yeah, and I will tell you why.
Yeah.
Here we have a mixed audience of devotee preachers, devotee businessmen, devotee grasters. So it's a whole mix of the devotees in this forum. I am a preacher, and I've been one for 42 years.
Uh-huh.
And like you said so many interesting things, and I believe that some of the things you're sharing are the necessary mindset for development for those who do not live in the ashram. You're very much correct. But at the same time, you made some passing remarks about those who give their life to Krishna, but in most cases, they're very pejorative. Meaning, like most people who end up serving in the temple, shaving their heads, they're like irresponsible. These are mentioned in your statement. And then you give example of Radhana Maharaj, who had many wealthy disciples who helped in his projects. Now Radhanath Maharaj gave his life, everything, to be able to serve Krishna. And the scripture says, of course, that we have 4 resources: our wealth, our words, our intelligence, and our life. So if you do not have wealth, you do not have intelligence or words, you can give your life. So anyway, not what I would like you to modify is the fact that living in the temple, giving your life to Krishna, is not an irresponsible act. And we have
Okay.
seen
So
many.
let's break
Can I
it.
finish?
Let's break it. Let's
Can I
break it.
finish, please? No, let me finish first. I'm asking questions. We have seen also many talented people, scholars, educated devotees who gave up everything to serve Krishna. And by their grace, this movement had spread because of the sacrifice they made. So that's why I'm saying that maybe if you speak in another forum, maybe you speak differently. But please, anytime you're speaking here, we are mixed up devotees. They are not just grihastas here. And we also want to hear how people can surrender more and more to serving Krishna with all what they have. Thank you.
First of all, you don't need to renounce your talents or your money, your house to serve Krishna. Those who choose to leave their careers, their money behind, or wherever they did, they are not a superior, better. It's just a lifestyle or choices that people made. It doesn't make you better than anybody else. No, I don't want to work anymore. It doesn't give me anything. I choose to do a service in the temple full time. This is a choice. It doesn't mean big spiritual advancement. What people choose in this lifetime, how they would live, is their particular individual right to choose. Nobody else can tell you what to do. You are an adult. You should be responsible for your choices. So if you choose something, you cannot complain in the future that somebody forced you to do. So choose wisely. Yeah, nobody can stop you to do whatever you want to do. It doesn't mean you are superior. We saw many people having big troubles and stealing and do sexual abuse or many things after renounced everything. So, and they will see people outside, having their lives. I saw many Prabhupada disciples that work 30 years in companies in America, 35. Now they come to Mayapur to retire, the very Krishna conscious people. I'm not saying that you cannot be Krishna conscious if you leave job and career and money and property and family behind. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we can find pure devotees in any of the 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. And this is Shastra. This is not another forum you may speak differently. We are accustomed and forced, and we have the misunderstanding to see that, if you left your job, you're more advanced. If you left your job, it means that you are more than these people, blah, blah, blah. And this is a lie. This is not truth. It doesn't mean anything. It means choices. For example, myself, I left college, I left everything. I was living in the temple for 10 years, doing books, 12 hours daily. I loved to do that. And I didn't become angry and I didn't become upset because this is my nature. I came to Mayapur, I was married, still I did 10 years service in Mayapur. I continue to do service, but now it's less. Before I was engaged 24 hours in Mayapur. This is nature, my nature. I like to do that. I have the possibility to do, I did. Although in the last years, it was not so responsible from my part, because I had 3 kids, I had to take care of them, and I did some mistakes financially, but then it fixed. But that was a very, very risky thing that I did. I don't advise. I think we have to be careful with finances. Otherwise you can become a beggar. And why you become a beggar? You have to work and have a responsibility and do whatever you want to do, whatever you need to do. So we have to be careful when we make this kind of choices and be responsible for our choices. These are choices in life. It doesn't mean spiritual advancement. You left your job, you left your wife, you left your family, you don't care about your kids. You are detached from material things. Wrong. You are unresponsible. You leave your job, and it doesn't mean that if you want your job, you have your job. If you don't want, you leave. But if you have family, then you cannot leave your job. You need money. You take care of your family. If you do that, you are an unresponsible person. You're not detached. You're just unresponsible. And that should be very clear for all temple presidents, coordinators, women. You see a man doing this, he's not a renounced person. He is an unresponsible person. Okay, this is very serious.
Hare Krishna. This
Please,
topic.
Before you go further, please, just one more statement from me.
Okay.
Kindly share with us Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, Chapter 5, Text 17. Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, Chapter 5, Text 17. And I say, Mother can say whatever she wants on that verse, but this is also good for us to hear. Can you share that?
Okay, give me a minute. Let me try to share that. 1:5:17, right? Okay, so Madhuvan, you may go ahead and then we'll
Please
continue from there.
please have a question.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Mother. Nice
Haribol.
meeting you again. Thank you
Jai.
for giving us your time to sacrifice to speak with us again.
It's a pleasure.
I quite appreciate your, I'll call it lecture today, because you really discuss where the problem is. Personally, I would have thought that even before somebody starts Krishna consciousness, they're supposed to, first of all, give me a course about Vanashram, the Vanashram system. The person must understand Vanashram. So when you understand Vanashram, then you know where you stand. Either you want to be you're a grasta, or you will know where you stand. So once you understand your social status, then you'll be able to understand what your responsibilities are. But it's like in the beginning, many people misunderstand, understood the concept. You see people renouncing prematurely. You don't have anything, and you say you are renouncing. It's a premature renunciation. Look at somebody who has been a Grihastha, joined the movement, and all along is maintaining his family as long as the temple is while he was still working. Then thereafter, he retired from work and even retired from family life because the children have grown up and they are not responsible. So on that level, we can be a Vanaprastha, and we will still continue with spiritual life. That time, when Vanaprastha is not dependent on anybody because it's self-sufficient. He has more than what he needs to live. Maybe he has a pension, the children are spending money, maybe you have 4 or 5 children, they are all spending money. So and that time, he could render more service for the movement. If you are poor, I don't know what service you really want to render. Or if everybody is poor, then how do you move the movement? How we take it forward? So, and just to cram it off, maybe we should look at this chapter in Bhagavad Gita, 1878. I think that's something else.
Can you please, Sahadev, can you please summarize because his microphone?
Okay, he is saying that he thinks that it will be very ideal for our movement to first of all train all new devotees about the Varnashram system. So everyone joining the movement can know where he or she belongs to. So that if you want to be a Grihastha, you become a Grihastha. And he was sharing about how in the initial stages, lots of devotees renounced prematurely. And he used the word prematurely because he said most people who renounced their work, their education, they didn't have full understanding about renunciation. But if someone is working and still performing his devotional service, and then he becomes Vanaprastha, then he can do like full-time devotional service once again, because at this point, he has retired, maybe he has some money saved, his children may be grown, children may send in some financial help every now and then. So in this way,
Yeah,
that would help.
yeah,
So
of
that is
course,
what he was sharing.
of course. It has nothing to do
And
with externals. It has nothing to do with externals and prestige and think I'm better or this is the best thing to do. What's your nature? What's your call? And you know, telling everybody to be monks is just, it doesn't make any sense. In the Catholic Church, they have a huge congregation in the entire world, And so some people are priests, and most of the people are just congregation. I was in Europe last year for 3 months, in 2024, and in France or in Switzerland, they have many, many churches. And people, they go to the church on Sundays. They sing, they have their concepts, they have a yoga, they have things that they do. They are not atheists. They're not. And they like to be good human beings too. They have a life that according to their nature. So when you have a call to be a monk, you won't be tamagon. You love to serve others. You love to learn scriptures, Shastra, and teach Shastra. You're Brahmana. Your call is very strong. You want to do that. So if you come for that, you're not interested in politics, you're not interested in sexual abuse, you're not interested in money and corruption, nothing like that. So, but when you just accept renunciation just because of prestige, not because what you really want to do in life, what's your call from past lives? So, and then we complain that the society has a lot of problems. Society, buildings and temples doesn't have problems. People have problems. Buildings, lands, they don't have problems. People have problems. So we have to have a better society when people are responsible, they do their duty, they know their nature, like Rupa Goswami said. First, you be conscious, and then you be Krishna conscious. What's your role? What's your nature? What's your call? Then you'll be balanced and happy and fine. You listen to Mahatma Prabhu. He has very valuable instructions. He, Srila Prabhupada disciple, he saw the movement went like that, and this renounce, okay, I love Krishna, so then I have to be renounced because I love Krishna. You don't have to be anything. No, if I love Krishna and then I don't have a family, I have a family because I don't love Krishna enough. This is not true. It's just nature. I don't have a nature to be a monk. I am a family man. Finished. Women shouldn't. Some women, they are nurse. They are like a woman in church. They go, but it has to have a proper place also where you can be a monk. Monk means you study, you serve others, not you join a temple and then you have to work 12 hours daily and travel and collect money because everything is a mess. What is this? Is this a monastery?
Mother, thank you. I think, Madhavan Prabhu, if you may unmute, you had given a verse. You said Gita, you said 10 or
1878.
1878. And then after that, we'll go to Sriman Varaha Prabhu's quote.
Thank
also.
you.
1848.
Okay, so
my system is kind of slow here. But
1878.
1878.
Not 14.
Okay,
Yes,
1878. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we based on Bhagavatam, but living Bhagavatam is very important, where we put the Bhagavatam in life, and everyone should hear Krishna Katha and participate in Kirtan and remember Krishna, and this is very important. if you're rich or poor, if you work so much or not. There is some time in life that you'll be working so much, and then after some time we'll be working less. Okay.
This is the last verse. It says, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion.
Okay, we ignore this. We ignore this all the time. We go to Sarva Dharma Parityajya. We can't tell people, Sarva Dharma Parityajya, but that we don't share.
Okay, Srimad Varaha Prabhu has also given us a verse, so let's put that on the screen and we hear what that also has for us. This is 1:5:17. I believe that is the quote, Srimad Varaha Acharya 1:5:17.
Dharmam charanam bhujam harer. Beautiful verse. Go down. Wait, down. One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. It says a non-devotee. It doesn't say devotee. It says a non-devotee engaged doesn't get it. It's a non-devotee. And forsaking his material occupation to engage in devotional service, for some time. And then for some goal, okay, no problem. But you say another hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged. So it doesn't mean that we poor grihastas shouldn't have money or house or a car or anything. Doesn't mean that.
Right. This topic reminds me of, I don't remember the name of the university, but like you mentioned, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was in one university in India, I think in Pune, and he was speaking to a large crowd of students. And so people, of course, Maharaj is always dressed as a sannyasi. And he was preaching very beautifully, as always. And there was one student who rose up and asked Maharaj a very challenging question. And all the students were clapping for this guy. So Maharaj said, oh, it seems you are very famous in this campus. And then, but this college student was asking Maharaj, why are you asking us all to become like you? You are a sannyasi. Why are you asking us all to become like you? If we all became like you, how are we going to have the computers? How are we going to have the farm? How are we going to have food? How are we going to? So Maharaj said, I never said that. I never said everybody should become like me. But all I'm saying, this is Maharaj speaking, all I'm saying is that there is the necessity of some people becoming like me, being sannyasis. There are some people who are supposed to become like you. And actually Maharaj asked him, what are you studying in college? And I think he said computer science or something. You know, Indians love computer. So Maharaj said, yes, there is nothing wrong in you being a computer science student. Somebody had to invent or make a car, automobile for me to travel from one place to another to speak to people. So this, to me, kind of answers this question that there are some people, especially by their nature, if they would like to stay in the temple and dedicate 24-hour service to serving Guru and Krishna, very good. We need such people. equally, we need people who can also serve Krishna while they are working to earn some money, because the movement, when Srila Prabhupada established this movement, he also asked us to build temples. We need Lakshmi, we need money to build. And if we have members who already understand what this movement stands for, then these people who are working can also help financially.
Yes, Sahadeva, I
Yeah.
like your speech, but I think very much about what people's choices.
Yeah.
What we need is fine. We need temples and we need this, we need that, and we need blah blah, we need monks. Okay, but as an individual, what do you want? It is very important.
Yes, that is what I was saying.
Very
As
important.
individuals,
You
we all have to
said
assess ourselves.
you said according to nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want? Be calm and practice, and advance accordingly without being a hypocrite. Advance accordingly. And that advancement, that spiritual advancement, will be a concrete thing that you can bring to next lives, because this is what our intention is. We want people to be theists, monotheists, and especially we would like them to be Lord Chaitanya devotees, Lord Krishna devotees. And this is something that has to be done if the person is not mature already, with very much careful, with very much care, if this is not something that people should, shouldn't be forced to do.
Well,
Okay, I don't have so much battery. Let them make I have 8%, but I am in a Mac computer, so it takes more time. But
okay.
make questions, guys. Just a question, okay?
Yeah, Sahadev.
Okay.
Sahadev,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
The Radha Maharaj story that you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also listened to that dialogue, but I think you didn't finish it. The student was trying to make a mockery that if everybody becomes a monk, then how is everything going to happen? And Radha Maharaj also asked him, what do you do? And he said, I'm a computer something. And Radha Maharaj says, okay, assuming the whole world, everybody becomes a computer specialist.
Yeah.
Is everything going to be okay? And the student said no. And the student said no. And so Radha Maharaj corrected him and said, yes. just as the whole world doesn't need to become all computer specialists, similarly, the whole world doesn't need to become monks. Everybody has got the part he has to play. And he used the body to set the example, how different parts of the body work to bring the whole body.
Guys, for God's sake, Krishna says, Chatur Varnya Maya Shristam Guna Karma Vibhakasha. He said, I created the 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. There's no way to be different. He created. I created.
I listened to that lecture also, and I think he said, just as we need doctors, we need computer scientists, so also we need monks. And so I'm a monk.
Great.
I'm happy lots of devotees have listened to that conversation. It was very nice.
Bhakta Hassan and
Bhakta Hassan. Yes.
Please. Yeah.
Try to be brief because her battery is dying. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mother, please, can you accept my respectful obeisances? So God, Gurudev, all glory to Prabhupada, and all glory to the wonderful some devotees. Madam, my question is, I think, thank you for the wonderful class, but you keep mentioning choice and choice and choice. So my question is, if we have to follow our choice, where is the surrender to Krishna? Because my choice is to sleep up to 9 o'clock in the morning. My choice is to work in maybe alcohol factory so that I can get more money. My choice is to work in slaughterhouse so that I can get more money. So if it's a choice, where is the surrender? This is my question, Mother. Hare Krishna.
Okay. No. Nobody is forced to surrender because Krishna doesn't force anybody to surrender. So if you choose to go to slaughterhouse, you choose alcohol, that's your choice. And you pay for that. This is the material world. This is how it works here. We have to understand that. People didn't come here to surrender. People didn't come here to be with God. According to our books, we are with God. We came here for sense gratification. So we have the Vedic literature, and 96% of Vedic literature is Karma Kanda. 2%, 2.5% is Jnana Kanda, and 1.5% is Upasana Kanda. That's Vedic literature. And why is that? Because people came here for sense gratification. So Vedic literature try to help them not to degrade themselves when they are doing the sense gratification. That's Vedic literature. We are not a sect. We have to understand where we are. Okay, what is the surrender if I have to work? Yeah, it's your choice. You choose to work. So if you are not Krishna conscious, if you don't have spiritual values, if you never heard about Krishna and you don't want to hear, and then it's also your choice. And we have to respect that choice. We will be like Christians? No, you have to accept Jesus Christ now. What is this? Are we this? We are not like this. You don't want to surrender? You don't have to. Say Hare Krishna, and get this sweet for you, prasad. We know the soul is eternal. We know that Hare Krishna and that sweet bowl will make an effect anytime. Or we are crazy fanatics. You surrender right now, right here. This is what we do?
No.
No, that is wrong.
We shouldn't. We shouldn't. Give prasada. Give the holy name. I want to wake up. I want to drink. I want to suicide. Leave it. The soul is eternal. And Krishna gave these people a free will. Who are we? Anadi.
Yeah. Anadi Niranam Prabhu, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Mother. Thank you very much.
Haribo.
Your class is so fireworks. So thank you once again. So, Mother, 3 days ago, Brahma Peter Prabhu was here on this very platform. And he made mention that when he met Prabhupada, he asked Prabhupada, what did he do? And Prabhupada said, he must acquire knowledge first before renunciation. So I think all what we are trying to say, we need proper knowledge, first of all. Then we can see how best we can renunciate. That is why they say renunciation through wisdom. So, and moreover, also, I think renunciation doesn't mean it is a denial. You can have the whole world in your possession, but you can still be a renunciate. So leaving the temple doesn't mean you are renunciant. But somebody can be a grihasta and at the same time a renounced person. So I think I agree with you 100%. So often in my zone here, when you are not living a temple, people feel that you are not a devotee. But we, the grihastas, we are the ones supporting the temple. Amongst the brahmacharis, they don't wait. The foodstuffs that we see in the temple, these are the foodstuffs the grihastas are supporting the temple with. So in this case, we are renouncing here. Those foodstuffs, we can keep them in our possession, but we give it to the temple. That is part of renunciation. So I think I agree with you 100%. And I also listen to Radhana Swami's lecture also, Sadhi Prabhu. So thank you very much. This is my little bit input. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Anadi. Look, very simple person, simple devotee, saying a very wise thing. First of all, he said cultivation of knowledge. Very important. You cultivate knowledge and your education will make you internally understand what you have to do. Who is Krishna? What's karma? What the word is? What are the holy names? By the cultivation of knowledge. And it doesn't happen like this. It takes time. It takes many years that you cultivating knowledge by hearing, by reading. And he's saying, you can be a grihastha by understanding that nothing belongs to you. How much you have from past lives, pious activities, you are dying and everything will remain here. So this understanding will make you renounced. How much you can accumulate, and you're getting old and you will die. And how attached that you are. And maybe a monk inside the temple is extremely attached to his position, to what is happening there, to his bed. Maybe the cultivation of knowledge and renunciation is something internal, and externally is just a lifestyle that comes from past lives. But the understanding about the about the material world, how temporary is it, and how God created everything, how Krishna created everything, how he is our best friend, and how the old age and death is coming. That's real understanding. Everyone can cultivate that anywhere where he's more comfortable, inside the temple, inside the house, it doesn't matter where. Okay, I have to go now. Thank you so much for the opportunity participation. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Ki Jai. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Mother NITYA-KISHORE Devi. Before you leave, please just spare us a minute. We're going to humbly request all the devotees to kindly unmute, and we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, Her Grace NITYA-KISHORE Devi, for sharing her love, wisdom, and time with us today, please. So you may all unmute. Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarayascha kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. All glorious to Her Grace NITYA-KISHORE Devi Ki Jai. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Protest among the mothers. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga.
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga.
My battery will finish. Okay, see you guys. Sorry for last time I was traveling.
Okay.
Bye,